Hi guys, and hello from the hilltop. I'm Waxahachie Blue, and I want to welcome you to my channel, The Plateau Perfectionist. Today's video will be my plan with me for September 2021 here in my pink Mackerel Tekukor bullet journal. So for this month, my theme was the color purple. I wanted to go with more reddish tone purples because I have done so much blue purpley stuff with my blue Space Lions last month, and then even my blue Moroccan tiles the month before that. So not only that, but it will transition better compared to what I have planned for next month. Little spoiler tidbit there. But in the meantime, these were the colors that I decided to go with, and not on top of that purple color, my theme is also this little sweater monster. So there's a story behind the sweater monster. First of all, his name is Bean. I don't know why, but that is his name. And primarily when I was originally thinking of this particular spread and the color purple, for some reason purple sweaters, especially like holiday zigzag pattern kind of sweaters, really stuck into my head. And I thought that was just a little too simple, so I decided to kind of change up the concept. So, for example, last month there was the color indigo, or a bluish purple, and I ended up putting that to my one of my Facebook groups to kind of help me figure out what I wanted to do for that month, and I ended up with the blue Space Lions. So I kind of similarly I thought very similarly in that I thought differently. I know that makes absolutely no sense, but hear me out here. I wanted to do sweaters. I definitely wanted to have something to do with sweaters. And when I think of sweaters, I think of myself, which I always prefer an oversized sweater, something that kind of hangs and flops around, especially on the arms. And add to that, I kind of just started drawing and thinking, and this little character just kind of came to mind. He is a little sweater monster, and I decided to name him Bean. He has 3 horns, very similar to Mike Wazowski off of Monsters Incorporated, and that Mike also has 3 horns. And this is just how he came about. He went through many different coloring styles. I mean, his general drawing stayed the same for the whole thing, but I could not figure out what kind of colors I wanted to do him, if I wanted to make him and the sweater purple, or if I wanted to kind of mix and match. And these are the colors that I decided to go with. I think he came out absolutely darling, and he will see him throughout just about all of my spreads. And speaking of my spreads, this particular month I am doing a semi-collaboration with an alternative bullet journaler. Her name is Sapphire Bujo. I will link her YouTube page in my description below. And when we decided to do a collaboration, what we decided to do was we decided to let fate and or other people decide what kind of spreads we were going to do in our bullet journal. And so that's exactly what I did. I went to my Facebook group again, and I put up a poll of what kind of spreads people could see us doing in our tracker this month. I did kind of put a little bit of a limitation on it, in that I needed at least a 2-page calendar, a rolling total tracker, my budget tracker, and then, at least a quote page. And as it turns out, I ended up with quote pages, title page, 2-page calendar, habit tracker, mood tracker, and a fall list. And so those will be some of the trackers that you will see here in my spreads here. So as to fill in the negative space, and it kind of ties into the sweaters, I decided to do these little wavy lines pretty much consistently throughout all of my spreads. They kind of remind me of threads. I mean, we've all had sweaters, I would assume we've all had sweaters, and pardon me for assuming, and when they snag, they get very thready, even if you just turn them inside out and you see all the threads that, I don't know about you, but my fingers catch every time I put a sweater on. So that is kind of what these, the strands are supposed to kind of represent. They're threads that are part of the sweater. But yeah, so this is my 2-page calendar. I decided to just go with the simple, SEPT for September instead of writing it all out. I wanted to let Bean be the center of the attention on most of my spreads. He is absolutely adorable, as my sister likes to say. And I even had her input on color suggestions, and I was asking my mother's color suggestions, and it was getting him to the right color scheme was a whole ordeal in and of itself. It took up most of my brain power this entire month of August. So I hope that y'all's August turned out a little bit better than mine did. My particular month ended up being a giant hot mess in both a good way and a bad way. So my first weekend of August, I was in our county fair. I had to build a parade float, which took a fair bit of my time. And then, and on a completely different subject, my blue space line that I did for the title page for last month, I ended up entering that in the county fair, and it won a blue ribbon. So yay me, and yay about 90% of everybody else who also won blue ribbons. It was a very small fair, but anyway, so kudos to my blue space line. He showed his moxie there and won a blue ribbon. After that, this weekend, the weekend that I am doing all of my editing and stuff, I actually ended up having to dog sit. A coworker of mine was going out of town, and she asked me to watch her little Yorkie Terrier. So I have been spending my entire weekend over there, keeping her busy and keeping her entertained. If she's not with me, she was with her doggy grandparents, aka the owner's parents. And they just, they love her to bits, and I love her to bits. And she's very, very easy, fun-loving dog, but it was one of those they wanted her to be in a more comfortable surrounding, and so that's how that situation went. This upcoming weekend, I have to go out of town for a wedding. And it's in a town that I've never been to, so that'll be an experience in and of itself. I've got a fancy dress to wear and all this other stuff. My mom had to edit it and tailor it, and anyway, so that's this upcoming weekend. And then the weekend after that, my mom and I are planning on going to a different state to go check on my niece who just got moved into the dorms at her college. She is a freshman. So my month of August has been absolutely swamped. In the meantime, I have been trying to get my bullet journal stuff planned and ready. And then on top of that, my sister, my adopted sister, has been in the ICU at a hospital with COVID. And so that has been on my mind, something fierce. She and her husband both caught it. Both of them ended up in the ICU. And then my sister has since been released. She got better. She's at home. She's been trying to keep the house maintained. They've got animals. They've been taking care of those. He, however, is still in the hospital. He is stable, but not 100%, not ready to go home just yet. So in the meantime, that has been weighing heavily on my mind, on top of everything else that has been going on this particular month. So when I say that this particular spread in its adorable dorkiness with a sweater monster kept me sane, please take that at exactly as I mean it. I mean, when you're stressed, journaling helps. That's kind of one of the whole reasons behind a journal. And one of the things that I enjoy doing is drawing. I enjoy drawing, doodling, making art, and it just kind of keeps my brain functioning at a semi-regularly normal level. So drawing this silly little monster dressed in an oversized sweater over and over and over again was almost kind of therapeutic to me. I enjoyed drawing him. I enjoyed figuring how I wanted to incorporate him into my various trackers. I enjoyed figuring out what color he was going to be, what color the sweater was going to be. So this particular month, this particular little character, these particular spreads are very special to me in that they helped me through a lot of stress. I did, in fact, end up having an anxiety attack, which my anxiety attacks are not nearly as bad as some people. I mean, I've never had to go on medication or anything of that nature, but I can definitely tell that I was stress eating. For a person who is very weight-oriented like I am, that bugs me. I had an anxiety attack probably because of the extra naughty foods that I was eating, which sugar can affect anxiety levels. And just trying to figure out ways to stay sane in an otherwise crazy world. So, in the meantime, that's another reason why I decided to do a mood tracker. Not just because people requested it, but you guys know how I am about mood trackers. I'm not a big fan of them, but every so often they do serve a purpose. And so that is another reason why I was like, okay, I'll put a mood tracker in my September. As for just, isn't he darling? He really is. I don't know. He is so cute. He is the cutest little monster. And in the meantime, something else that I decided to bring back from my, not this past month, not August, but the month of July, was I decided to do a no spend for September. Sorry, I'm a little sniffly. I had a massive allergy attack this morning. I love that little dog to pieces, but I am allergic to dogs, and I hadn't taken a Zyrtec, and she licked me all over my face, and I had a massive allergy attack to the point I couldn't even go to church this morning. Since I'm having to go out of town so much this month, my budget has basically been blown out of the water, regardless of whether I do excessive spending or not. Even just with gas alone, my budget is going to go kaputsk. So in order to remedy some of that, I decided to do a no-spend month of September. This particular tracker is just to mark down what I have spent money on with these little icons, whether it was a bill, if I had to buy dog food, cat food, whatever, gas, miscellaneous, or any personal items. And this one worked really well for me in July to kind of keep me focused on, I probably shouldn't have done that. I'm really on track with my bills kind of situation. So I decided to incorporate that into September as well. So this is my habit tracker. I don't usually do the little mini calendar style. I don't know why. I think I just don't like drawing all the little mini calendars. It's a hit or miss for me. Sometimes they're really therapeutic. Sometimes if I keep messing up with them, they are not very therapeutic. But I decided that's the way I decided to do this particular month. So some of the habits that I will be keeping tabs on is trying to get back into yoga. I have been absolutely terrible at doing yoga this past month because I've been so busy. The one meal a day, which is part of my ketogenic lifestyle, since the weather is starting to cool down, especially in the mornings, I'm going to try to also at least get a walk in. It doesn't have to be a very long walk, but I would like to get back into the habit of walking. Keeping tabs on my plants. My poinsettia up at my office has been getting a little sunburnt because of where it is in my window. Brushing my teeth. You would be surprised how often I catch myself. I'm like, oh, crapola on a crab cracker. I didn't even brush my teeth today. And then, of course, riding my mom's exercise bike, and then meditation. In case you haven't noticed, just about every single one of those habits is almost a self-care habit. The month of September has essentially been, at least for me, I have deemed it a reset month. I have been so busy this past month. I have been so stressed this month, not just because of busy, but because of other things, as I've explained. I really need a reset month. So, just about all of my habits are self-care habits. I need to recenter, I need to rethink some things, and I just need to calm myself down and reset. It's just that simple. So I also wanted to include this little positive quote that I thought up. I don't even remember if I found it. I think I just thought it up. Was jump into life like it's a pile of leaves. And then, of course, my mother, when I showed it to her, she's like, well, where's the leaves? You didn't put any leaves on this page. And I was sitting there going, the letters are the leaves. She and I get along together like a hoot and a half. But that's just me. That's how this particular that's just me. That's how this whole month is going. And I don't know if you can hear it in my voice, but I'm tired. I am ready for September to be here, so I can, I'm taking one day at a time, and it's not defeatism, it's just exhaustion. But anyway, yeah, I'm going to pause this right now so y'all can just enjoy some music and enjoy the video. Alright guys, I'm back. So here is my fall list. I didn't really necessarily want to call it a wish list because there are certain things that I probably won't be able to get done this month, and I didn't want to kind of put that self-pressure on myself. So I decided just to make a fall list. And there are some things on here that I decided not to actually put on here, and there's some things that I did. So one thing that I am currently already enjoying is my autumn lo-fi, and then of course there's things involving food. I am planning on trying to go to a semi-fall festival, kind of like an Oktoberfest kind of situation, but that won't be until October. And then and then some of this is also, again, self-care, like trying a new keto recipe, decorating, fall candles. I love some of the fall scents that come out. They don't necessarily have to do anything to do with pumpkin, but I know that there is one, you can actually find it at Walmart. It's the mainstay brand. It is Amaretto Blood Orange, and I think you can actually find it year-round, but that is a very fall-oriented scent for me, and so that is one that I love to get and to take it to the office. It has a nice little hint of spice to it because of the blood orange, and it's just, me and my coworkers really enjoy that. Now, this particular little tree doodle that I decided, this was completely on a whim that I decided to put this in here. It's almost an homage to my November 2020 plan with me, which was the lo-fi. It was the lo-fi spread. But yeah, I decided to put this in willy-nilly, and I didn't even scribble art. Yay! Score 1 for the scribble art. But anyway, that was just, and then of course my battery died in the process of doing this video, or this particular spread, so you see me jump a little bit there, and that was my battery going, and I'm dead. On this other page, I did a little bit of an oops, and you won't see it until the final flip through, but I forgot to color these letters like I've been doing for the rest of the spreads. I just kind of wrote it out, I added the scribbles, and called it done. I didn't realize that until I was doing my flip through, and I'm like, oh, I forgot to color those. So I do go back and fix that. You'll see it in the final flip through, but in the meantime, please don't rag on me. I honestly just forgot. I was too busy trying to get all this done. Add some washi tape, which I picked this washi tape because he matches Bean so well. And then I had this other one which kind of reminded me of like a plaid sweater. So that's where those washi tapes came from. Alrighty, since I did so many additional spreads for this particular month, it was getting a little long. In order to combat that, I only really drew out this one weekly spread. You know me, you've seen my other weeklies. I usually will do all of them at once just because I like doing it that way, but because there was an excessive amount of drawing, I decided to only draw out this one, or at least film me drawing out this one, just to kind of keep it simple, keep it cohesive. I did, however, include the tabs that I have actually found I really enjoy for my weeklies, and then I just added this silly little quote at the top. I added Bean. Yes, there is a pumpkin. I am getting into the fall spirit, gosh darn it. And therefore there must be pumpkins. There must be pumpkins. And they had to be purple pumpkins because my theme is purple. Doesn't that make sense? Anyway, so yes. And why is there only 5 days? Because I go month to month. There are only 5 days in the first week of the month of September. That is why there's 5 days. Does anybody else do that? Am I crazy? I do that. Makes sense. I think Planning with Kay does that. Yes, because she was the one that gave me the idea. Anyway, so in the meantime, I'll go ahead and just kind of stop yakking for a while, but I did want to give a little shout out. I have gotten some more subscribers this month. Thank you for everyone who has subscribed. If you do feel so inclined, please do. It's a simple little button. You click it, and if you get bored with me, you can unclick it. Same thing with the like button. So I will go ahead and do the spiel. Are you ready for it? Are you ready? All right. If you liked this video, by all means, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more great content, and by all means, please leave me a comment. I love comments. I love talking to people. I love it when people give me suggestions for ideas and concepts and offer collaborations like I did with Sapphire. Again, her YouTube channel will be linked in my description below. Also, if you feel so inclined, you can find me on Instagram at the Plateau Perfectionist with underscores in between each word. I am also on Facebook and with the same name, just minus the underscores. And in the meantime, y'all enjoy the video, enjoy the final flip through, have a great start to fall weather, if that is the kind of weather that you'll be getting in September. And I will see y'all next month. Have a great and wonderful day. You're loved. You're awesome. Thank you for watching. Bye.